Hey, good morning. Welcome to Marvelous Monday Morning Coffee with Sandye. Woohoo! Yeah, let's make this a good week, huh? I am so tired of being in a sick house. Indy did sleep a little last night. He did wake up feeling a little better this morning. He's got patients who need him, so he really wants to get back to work. I'm not sure it's really a great idea, but here's to not overdoing Indy, darling. And for those of you who are feeling like icky, let's get some good health this week, huh? It's going to be a busy week for me. Very busy week for me. The faux wedding of my son and his fiance at my almost 98-year-old mother's senior citizens home is coming up this weekend. Yeah. Is that like the cutest story ever? The bride and groom decided that since Grandma Fritzy can't travel to their wedding, they would have a faux wedding, or as I like to call it, an undress rehearsal, where she lives. She won't know that it's not the real wedding because we've got everything as if it was a real wedding. My son just wants to dance with his grandma as his wedding. And it's so cute because I've been practicing with her in her wheelchair. She said, "Oh, I don't think I can dance anymore." And I said, "Well, you maybe can't get up on your feet and dance because she has no balance anymore. So they either have her in bed or in a wheelchair." It makes me crazy. But I took her wheelchair and I was turning her around and having her do hand motions. And she was the biggest smile, like ear to ear. I don't know if you saw my little brother came out from Arizona, and as he was driving through, he stopped to visit his mama, and we took some pictures, and he's got a picture of her with that little smile on her face that literally came from dancing. Yeah, she's so looking forward to it. Well, when she remembers it's coming, I remind her every day, and every day she gets just as excited all over again that she's going to a wedding. Yeah. She doesn't really get, that she's the grandma completely, but it still sounds like a lot of fun to her. Good morning, Ginny, my dear. Mm. So this morning we're wishing good wishes, good wishes. I want you to know, by the way, that I've now made it through 2 days of my new way of eating. And so far, although I was kind of down and lackadaisical, I guess, yesterday, I'm not really hungry. No, I have this wonderful list of all these different 50-calorie or less snacks that I can have. My favorite right now is sugar snap peas, icy cold sugar snap peas, because there's a company that makes sugar snap peas that you don't have to pull the string off of. You know what I'm talking about? Oh my God. It's like it's just like a party for your mouth. It's like so great. I love them. So I put them in 50-calorie baggies, and I can just grab a bag of them and munch on them when I feel like I need a snack. Yeah, they make me happy. And for my dessert last night, I made myself a medium size. It wasn't huge and it wasn't teeny. It was just like a little bowl of about a third of a banana, 3 strawberries sliced up in small pieces, and a small handful of blueberries with whipped cream on top. Hello, another party. My mouth was celebrating again. And it was like 125 calories for my whole dessert. And it was so good. Okay, let me see. What does it say here? Oh, that is my new way of eating. Here's my new way of eating. I'm eating 5 or 6 times a day. Snack, breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, done. And I'm keeping it under, what did I say? Under 1,100 calories a day. I know that's not a lot of calories, but I'm only 4'10", and I got a lot of weight to lose. Not because I am concerned about how I look to you, although that's always an issue. But my hair's so pretty, it's okay, right? No, I'm concerned with my health. Okay, that's Indy's first concern, is he's worried about my health. I am concerned that my recent diagnosis, um, I guess we didn't really talk about that, did they? Did we? No. Um, I'm fine, by the way. So this is not like, oh, feel sorry for me. I am absolutely fine. But I did get a diagnosis of stage 3 kidney disease. Hello. That kind of scared the padoozies out of me. So I've given up ibuprofen, which the doctor said could knock my numbers off because he thinks I'm fine. He thinks there's something else going on. So I did do that, and I know I need to lose some weight. So I think between those two things, and because now we sort of figured out that my problem with my left side was my sciatica, my doctor gave me a Medrol steroid pack, and I'm like on day 4 now or something. My hip is feeling infinitely better. My leg is feeling infinitely better. And I got to be honest with you, I did not wake up with a headache this morning. I'm thinking maybe those things are going to be my miracle all the way around. Here's to a miracle. Yeah, and low carb. That is also true. Low carb. But you know what? I love fish and I love chicken and well, I love meat too, but fish and chicken are fine with me. And I love vegetables. I love vegetables. So that's okay with me. I know fruits are carbs, so I'm trying to not eat too much fruit, but vegetables. Oh, and cucumber. You can have like a ton of cucumber for 50 calories. And get this, you can have 6 large kosher dill pickles. Could you find me someone who could sit down and eat a snack of 6 large kosher dill pickles? Maybe I could get through a whole one, but I am feeling better. So I think that's going to help. And I think I'll feel better when I'm not carrying around all this extra weight. I know it doesn't all show, but it's all in hidden places. I promise. I promise. I'm not making this up. I know in order to be healthy, veggies are carbs. Veggies are carbs too? Okay, now I don't love my new diet anymore. I don't love my new way of eating. I don't honestly, really? Veggies are carbs? I'm so depressed now. My day might be ruined. I don't know. Let's move on then. Oh, hey, the big news. The big news is our Facebook group. What do I say? What do I do? Hit 1,000 members yesterday. 1,000 of us out there saying, let's make this world a nicer, kinder, safer, happier, healthier, more grateful, loving place, and have some fun at the same time. 1,000 of us have come together already to do this. It does feel like it's taken forever, but we're there. So, see, that's why I said to you, I wanted to have an idea in mind of what I wanted to do to celebrate 1,000 people. And I'm not ready. I'm just not ready. There's just, between the wedding and my daughter's birthday and Indy being sick and me having all these doctor issues, it's like, that was not my thing this week. So during this week, I promised to give it some thought. I kind of like the idea you guys had about doing a giant Zoom and just saying, hey, open to everybody, and maybe doing it, I don't know, at 2 different times. So if your times don't work, like we have people in this group literally from all over the world. So the time differences might be prohibitive. So maybe I can do one at 6 in the morning and one at 6 at night or something like that, and do just like, a half an hour in the morning and half little celebration. I'm going to talk to Tracy because Tracy's been in on this right from the beginning. So I want to talk to Tracy too and see if she has some ideas. Here's what I do know. What do I say? What do I do? When it was originally started was like a great name for it, because it was like I'm stuck. What do I say? What do I do? And you would write in, you would text or whatever you call it and pose an issue you were going through, and we would like have a forum, and then on Wednesday nights we'd have live phone calls and talk about it, and it was a very issue based, not word art based. Well, now we're meme and word art based. So we need to come up with another name. I do have a page called Word Art by Sandye, but this is not about me. Yes, my word art is how I express it, but it's not about me. It's about making this world a better place. And that's a little bit lofty to call the group Making This World a Better Place. I think it's too lofty. Yeah. So anyway, we're talking about a name change. Hey, we have 1,000 people. We've been at this for over 5 years already. It's time for some change. Ooh, and that's going to tie right in at the end to our word art for today. Yeah, maybe that's why I'm struggling. Change is not always easy. No, it's not. We'll come back to change, I promise. Let me see what's going on here. Good morning. Good morning. Carbs get a bad rap. Some carbs are good, like avocado. Oh, I love avocado. I know, but avocado has fat too, and that's good. It's good fat. Yes, and I love avocados. All right, so forget what I said about cutting down on carbs. If vegetables are carbs, I am not cutting down on carbs. Oh, look at this. Now I have to keep putting my glasses back on. Yes, that's what I said on Facebook today. Hercules or whatever his name is. Hercules. I forget. I quoted him this morning, and that's what he said, is the only thing that's constant is change. Amazing. It's the only thing we can depend on. It is National Pecan Pie Day. Who doesn't love a good pecan pie? Anything with nuts in it, and I'm there. I'm going for it. But I do not believe that it is on my current way of eating. Right now, I am curtailing the carbs, and there are a lot of carbs in pecan pie and a lot of sugar. So no pecan pie for me, but if you would have a piece in my honor, that would be okay with me. It's Different Colored Eye Day. Did you ever meet anyone who had 2 different color eyes? I did once in junior high school, and I have to admit it was kind of weird. But years ago, I had horses at my house. Yeah. I had the most wonderful little cow pony. Her name was Bergie because she was kind of red, like my Irish setter, that kind of red. So I had an Irish setter and a burgundy horse, and I called her Bergie, and she was little and fast and cute, and oh, I just loved her. And my husband had this big, giant, like almost like a thoroughbred. I mean, it was just huge and beautiful with 2 different color eyes, one blue, one green. One brown, one blue. It was like the weirdest thing, depending on, his name was Haas, Hoss, Haas. And Haas would look at you this way or this way, and he looked like a different horse. He was a Haas of a different color. Dun, 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 dun. It's also Etch-a-Sketch Day. Did you have an Etch-a-Sketch? I remember Etch-a-Sketch was one of my little brother, Rob. Remember, he was visiting me yesterday. It was one of Rob's favorite toys. But my father would pick it up every once in a while, and he would just, and he'd have these like amazing pieces of art on the Etch-a-Sketch. I don't know how he did it. I was never a master. I mean, it was fun, but I was never a master of the Etch-a-Sketch. Mayo Clinic. Okay, we're going back on diet for a minute here. Thank you for this. Indy says, Mayo Clinic recommends 50% carbs, 30% protein, and 20% fat. Complex versus simple carbs. Good fats and bad fats. Okay. So I have a lot more to learn, apparently. I will eat good. I will eat simple. Will I eat simple carbs? Is that what I want? Simple, not complex carbs? I'm guessing simple carbs would be like a vegetable, and complex carbs would be like a piece of cake that had other things beside carbs in it. I'm guessing. Somehow, avocado is a good fat. Schmaltz, chicken fat, not so good. Just saying. I don't know. Okay, I'm willing to learn. I just want to feel good. I want to be healthy. and I want my clothes to fit well. That's all I can tell you. Um, it's New Conversations Day. Yeah. Get out of that old conversation you've been in. Have you been in a conversation called Life Sucks? Maybe it's time to get into a conversation called Life is Awesome. Think about what your conversations are. Now, I'm not talking about when you sit down and talk to the person sitting next to you. I'm talking about the conversations in your head that you repeat over and over and share with other people in different ways. It's more like a conversation for an outlook, a conversation about the way you see life and you see yourself and other people. Maybe it's time for a new conversation. Like my conversation has always been, I'm short, I'm chubby, I'm cute, but I'm not pretty. Well, I got a new conversation, kids. I'm petite and I'm pretty. Get that one. Okay, it's not life altering for anyone but me, but who knows what miracles it could bring for me so that I can share with the rest of the planet. I don't know. I'm starting small. Get it? I'm starting petite. What can I say? Oh my goodness. 1908. Happy birthday. Okay, he died in 2002, but happy birthday today to one of my all-time faves, Milton Berle. Yo, you go, Uncle Milty. Now, you have to be like probably in your very late 60s, I'm guessing, in your late 60s and up, to actually have experienced Milton Berle while he was still like doing his thing. He's from the genre of the old Borscht Belt comedians, like George Burns was his best friend, for instance, or one of his best friends. So I've shared my Uncle Milty story with you before, but it's so awesome. I'm going to give you an abbreviated version. I was at the airport ready to go to Las Vegas with my girlfriend, Marilyn, who was in the middle of an ugly divorce. And I was taking her away to cheer her up. And I told her if she saw a guy who looked good for her, I would be her pimp for the weekend, and I would get that guy and bring him over, and he would be part of our group. Okay? So we were laughing about that as we were sitting watching all these celebrities getting on our airplane, and I look over, and checking in at the desk is Milton Berle. I like freaked because I loved Milton Berle, and I'm going, Mayor, look who's signing in. It's Milton Berle. Oh my God. And she says very calmly, okay, I want him. I said, what? She said, you said you'd get me anybody I wanted. I want him. I said, oh, come on, I can. She said, I want him. I said, okay. And then I did a little quick thinking on my feet, and I stood up and I went like this, Milty! And I started running toward him as fast as my little feet could carry me. Now, if you were an older guy and you saw this young girl running toward you, yelling your name with her arms out, what would you do? Well, of course, you'd put your arms out and grab her when she got to you. So he grabs me and he's hugging me. And then all of a sudden he goes like this, one hand on one of my shoulders, one hand on the other of my shoulders. And he says, do I know you? And I said, no, but I know you. And now you get to know me. Hi, Milt. I'm Sandy. It's so good to meet you. And he starts laughing and we start chatting. And I say, oh, my friend Marilyn's got to meet you. So I call Marilyn over and I introduce my friend Marilyn. And Marilyn shocks me by saying, actually, we've met before. We were both at Barbara's son's wedding a couple of weeks ago. And he looks at her and he says, were you at the wedding? Wasn't it wonderful? And she said, oh, yeah, it was. And I go, whoa, I wasn't at any wedding a couple of weeks ago. Whose wedding are we talking about? Apparently, my girlfriend, unbeknownst to me, has a nephew who married, now you got to follow this, Barbara's Barbara, who was with George Burns, Barbara's daughter, right? And since Milton Berle and George Burns were friends, of course, they were there at this wedding of Marilyn's nephew to George Burns's stepdaughter, I guess is who it is. So they're talking like old friends, right? And now I'm standing there feeling like, what's going on? And he says to me, so are you going to go see George while you're in Vegas? And I said, George Burns. He said, yeah, he's gonna be there. I said, I didn't know he was gonna be in Vegas. Oh yeah, he's playing at the blah 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 blah. And I said, I didn't even know. Oh yeah, I hope we can still get tickets. And he said, he said, call Swifty. Swifty will get you in. Swifty Lazar, right? So anyway, to make a long story short, that's my George Burns story. I'll save that for another time. But that's how I met Milton Berle. Uncle Milty. Okay, moving right along. Yeah, no, I'm going to move along. Baseball. We talked about baseball the other day and how much I loved baseball. I used to be such a White Sox fan. And I just want you to know that it is the anniversary of baseball. There was a guy in 1892 named Alexander Cartwright. As it turns out, he was a firefighter, but he invented baseball. Thank you, Alexander. We appreciate it. See, what you can't see is that Indy is now giving us like so much good information. Carbon-based life forms are humans. The carb is the carbon part. And then he said, I'll stop now. It's okay. If I can learn, I'm good with that. We're all trying to learn. Thank you, Indy. Indy Amos and Stephen Albon, both of them. Without them, we would need Google and dictionaries and encyclopedias. But when we have those two on, we got it covered. You guys are taking good care of us. Happy birthday also to Bucky Fuller. Buckminster Fuller. He was an engineer. He was an architect. But Indy and I were just talking about futurists yesterday because Indy started talking and I just looked at him and said, oh my God, you're a futurist. There are certain people, and Bucky Fuller was like one of them, who just could envision a different world and what it would take to get there. I have so much respect for that. I'm still dealing with all the stuff that's going on right here, right now, and how to get through this. And these guys are like off in another place. I'm so respectful of that. Also, the anniversary of the Newlywed Game. No, the Family Feud game. The Newlywed Game was yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah, today's the Family Feud game. My kids and I, for years, talked about who the teams would be, who our team would be, and we could never get just down to the number of people that it was supposed to be, so we never did it. But we would have been awesome on Family Feud. Yeah, no question. Also, the anniversary of the very first woman who ever ran for major vice president of the United States. That would be Geraldine Ferraro with Walter Mondale. But excuse me, she was running with Walter Mondale. Sorry, I hope I didn't offend anyone. But I mean, talk about milquetoast. Okay, I'm sorry. He's probably wonderful and I don't know enough about him. Anyway, they didn't make it. Another thing that I wanted to share with you, because there were so many interesting things that happened today. Today is the anniversary in 1962 of the Rolling Stones' first show at a club in London. But did you know when they first started, they weren't the Rolling Stones? They were the Rollin' Stones, Rollin apostrophe. They were the Rolling Stones. Yeah, they weren't the Rolling Stones. Now they're the Rolling Stones. Okay, and then, of course, yesterday was the big duel between Alexander Hamilton and Raymond Burr. Remember, right? Straight out of Hamilton. Today is the day he actually died. Yeah, I guess, the wounds were devastating. Okay. What else do I want to tell you about today? This wasn't really important, except it goes with my long line of, Henry Ford and the Ford and Huey and the helicopter. I don't know. But I mean, it's like all these famous things that we take for granted were named after somebody. Rolls Royce was named after Charles Rolls and somebody named Royce. And Charles Rolls is his birthday today. He founded Rolls Royce like in the 1800s. Yeah, Rolls Royce. Can I tell you something? My first foray as a young married couple with my children's sperm donor, no, their birth father, was we wanted to have stock and be grown-ups. And we thought Rolls Royce was really cool. So we bought a bunch of Rolls Royce stock. It was our first and only stock. And in a matter of a few years, it went like this. And literally became worth less than the paper it was on. I'm sure things have changed, but we literally took our stock, because back in those days you had the papers. We literally wallpapered one wall of our little tiny bathroom with our Rolls Royce stock, because that's all it was good for at the time. I wonder if we just held on to it, if it would have been worth something. Maybe we'd be really wealthy right now. Yeah, not likely. All right. Time for the word art of the day. And I told you it was all going to tie in to the change in the way I'm eating and the changes that are going to take place in the what do I say, what do I do group. As we've grown, we change. Things are different. We got to keep up with the times. Yeah. So today's word art says it's totally okay to change your mind, because everything changes. If we live in a world where everything changes, then it's time for us as humans, or as what did you say we are? We are carbon-based life. We humans are carbon-based life. It is time for our carbon-based humans. It's time for us to embrace change. I know for some of you, Tracy already said on Facebook this morning, change is really hard for her. She hates it. It's like this. If you know the train is coming, you get off the track. And if you have a trip, you plan to get on the train, right? Change is coming, my friends, every minute of every day. Embrace the change. What can change bring that could make your life even better than it is? Yeah, embrace the change. Maybe I'm going to write that down. Embrace. That should be tomorrow's. Embrace the change. I tell it to people all the time. You know it's coming, so prepare for it. That's all. Just be ready. Ooh, this is really great right now. What could it look like if it changed? How could it be? And this is the mindset. How could change make things even better than they are now? I'm going to leave you with that one. Hey, here's a sip and a smile from a petite, pretty woman. I love you. I'll see you on Tuesday. That's tomorrow. Be healthy. Be happy. Bye-bye.